I'm Gyles Brandreth, and I was at Bedales from about 1962 till about 1966, 67, or maybe it was 61 to 67. The reason I found it difficult to actually put the date on it is, as my wife would say, because I never really left. I've earned my living as a writer, a broadcaster, a performer, an actor, and as a politician. And in fact, everything I've ever done really is what I was doing at Bedales and have carried on doing. My wife reminds me constantly that there has been no development in my life whatsoever. At Bedales, I edited the school magazine. I ended up writing for national newspapers and magazines and being an editor on a national newspaper. At Bedales, I was the candidate in the elections. When we had general elections, mock elections at school, I ended up as a parliamentary candidate and then as an MP. At Bedales, I was acting in the school plays, and I now act, for money in the theatre. So my life is actually entirely what happened at Bedales. I've just gone doing again and again. I think I belong to a very lucky generation. We were the generation that actually knew Mr. Baddeley, the founder of Bedales, the man who, with his wife, conceived the school in the 1890s. He was still living in the school grounds in the 1960s. And I was one of the children who was, on a Wednesday afternoon, sent to his cottage in the grounds to play Scrabble with him. So week in, week out, for several years, I would sit down with this very old man. He was about 98 when I first met him. As you know, he died aged 102. And so I got from him the feeling of the old Bedales. And when I arrived at the school, there were still teachers there who'd been there in the 1920s, 30s and 40s. So it was the crossover point between the new Bedales, that, as it were, is very chic, that is kind of dressed in a Laura Ashley frock, and the old Bedales, which is arts and craft, Christian socialism. So there was that combination of the two. There was the 1960s, the modern world, the CND marches, the protest movement, flower power, the beautiful people. All that was beginning. Avocados were arriving, floral dresses, girls with lovely hair and flowers in them. There was that going on. And at the same time, there was this older feeling that the spirit of William Morris and John Ruskin and Bernard Shaw and vegetarianism still existed within the school. And there was a tension between the two, but even as a small boy, I was conscious of that, and the physical buildings of the school made you conscious of that. It's interesting, I realize now that I take the Bedales experience for granted. I just accept that's the school I was sent to, and it must have given me things. I think what it gave me was an opportunity to really allow my enthusiasms to flourish. I was free to do whatever I wanted, and I did it, and it was accepted that you could do it. So I think, having been to Bedales, I assumed anything was possible.